Hello everyone, this is Lorenzo from Meetecho. This video tutorial will cover more specifically the set of tools you made available to chairs in order to help them manage the IETF meeting session more efficiently. We'll show how the user interface has some minor differences, how you can handle moderation, start a show of hands, and so on and so forth. Notice that we'll assume you already watched the generic tutorial for participants, so please make sure you do that before looking at the chair-specific functionality we'll introduce here. When you authenticate via the data tracker to join a session, if you are a chair of that working group, you will be automatically recognized as such, which will actually unlock some additional functionality not available to regular participants, like the ability to publish your screen at will without going through any moderation process. Notice that even though as a chair you'll mostly just manage the queue, you can also join the queue, for instance whenever you want to make a question with your chair hat off. While participants can unmute at will, since the queue is mostly a visual indicator, you do have an option to moderate the audio and, for instance, mute everybody in the room. More specifically, you can either mute everybody in the room except you, for instance, whenever you are starting a new session, or you can mute everybody that is not currently in the queue to limit the conversation to those that are currently active. When you join the session that you are currently chairing, you may want to start publishing some media right away. So in this case, let's just publish audio, video, and let's also share some slides as well. This will help participants immediately realize that they are in the right place and also test whether or not audio and video is working for them as expected. As a chair, you're responsible for managing the virtual queue to basically decide who can present or make a question at any given time, and this is made possible through the virtual queue in this system. When someone joins the queue, the participants list is updated as a consequence, and you can actually use this icon to remove them from the queue if you want. If you're okay with them speaking to the room, then just tell them via the audio stream and they'll know that they can actually unmute their webcam and microphone if they want. Should they want to also share their screen, you'll be notified about this as well, and in this case you'll actually have to actively moderate the request by deciding whether you want to grant the request or deny it instead. If you are already sharing your screen, make sure to stop it before accepting the request that they just made. At this point, they'll be able to start sharing their screen and making their presentation. You may want to stop your audio and video at this stage just to make sure that the focus is entirely on the presenter. Once the presentation is done, you can actually revoke the different streams the participant is contributing individually, so whether you want to revoke the microphone, the webcam, or the screen, or all three at the same time. So let's do exactly that, so that we are removing the participant, and let's also remove them from the virtual queue as well. Sometimes during the session you may need to get some feedback from the room, and you can do that using the show of hands tool. By default, when you open the related tab, it will display the latest results from the previous feedback that you asked. So let's start a new one instead. This is where you can type the question that you want to ask the room, possibly something more meaningful than the silly question that I'm typing right now. When you are ready, you can just click Start Session and the question will be broadcast to the room. As a participant, you'll also be able to raise or not raise your hand yourself. Live and anonymous feedback from the room will come in real time, which means that you'll be able to see dynamically how the feedback from the room changes. When you feel that you've gathered enough feedback, you can at any time stop this show of hands session by just clicking End Session over here. The moment we do that, the results from this session are actually archived together with the feedback that we've gathered previously. If you want to give presenters a visual indication of how much time they have available for their presentation, you can use the countdown clock feature that is available in this tab over here. You'll be able to start and display a timer that will be visible to all participants, so let's just start one that will end in 10 minutes. As you can see, this will make a timer appear in the upper right side of the screen for all participants, including the presenter. Dismissing the dialog will not stop the timer, of course. In case you want to stop the countdown clock ahead of time, all you need to do is visit the same tab again and click the stop button. This will immediately stop the countdown timer and briefly display a stop label where the timer was before instead. And we're done. Hopefully this will help you navigate the Meetecho interface more easily when sharing your session. If anything is still not clear and you need further help or clarifications, please do reach out to us. And if you need some assistance during the meeting itself, we'll be available in all Jabber rooms as usual, so just mention us there and we'll do our best. Enjoy your meeting.